Hello, class. I hope you're having a great day. Mr. Thorson will be helping you out today. And so what I would like for you to do on the warm-ups is to find the missing number on these. You may use a calculator if needed. Remember, you need to show your work. So please pause the video, have the students work on 1 through 6, and when most are done and you've taken attendance, please start the video again. So in the first one, we can do our cross multiplying. We will get 9x equals 216. When we divide by 9, we will get our answer of 24. In the second one, we will get 14x equals 140. When we divide by 14, we will get our answer of x equals 10. Cross multiply, we get 36x equals 720. When we divide by 36, we will get 20. 3x equals 84. When I divide, I get x equals 28. 14x equals 1,120. When we divide by 14, we get x equals 80. And finally, 4x equals 324. When we divide by 4, we get our answer of 81. Please take out your homework. Mr. Thorson, please pass out the homework sheet, and students are to copy down problems 8, 12, and 20. Turn those into the basket. Pause the video while they do that, and when you come back, I will have answers for those problems. Thanks. As you can see, I have posted the answers on the board. Number 4 is a square, 5 is a trapezoid, 6 is rhombus, 7 kite, 8 parallelogram, 9 rectangle. Number 10, the missing angle is 65 degrees. Number 11, the missing angle is 110. Number 12, 128. 13 is 58 degrees. These are what you should have drawn for number 14 and number 16. Number 18 is always. Number 20 is sometimes. 22 is never. 24A, the new shape of the door is a trapezoid because it has exactly one pair after you cut it to make it move easier. You got 90 plus 90 plus 91 and a half plus x equals 360. X is 88 and a half on that bottom left side of the door. For our last one, we know that x is equal to 125 and y is equal to 55. We know that opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. And we know that consecutive interior or inside angles of a parallelogram are supplementary, or they add up to 180. Those are yours to keep, and what we will be working on today is our essential question of how can you enlarge or reduce a drawing proportionally. In our first example, you are going to be working with someone near you. This diagram over here on the right shows a food court at a shopping mall. Each of these is 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, and so on. Each centimeter in the diagram represents 40 meters. So you have 2 chores to do first. First, your job is to find the length and width of the drawing of the food court in length of centimeters. How long is this here? How wide is that? And then I want you to find the actual length and width of the food court using that each centimeter equals 40 meters. Please pause the video, allow students to work with someone near them, and in about a minute or 2, come back and I'll have the answers. Hopefully you were able to count 1, 2, 3, 4 centimeters for the length, 1, 2 and a half for the width. So there's where my 4 centimeters by 2.5 comes in. Since each of these is worth 40, 4 times 40 will give us actually 160. 2.5 times 40 will give us 100. In our second example, you are going to find the length and the width of the sketch. Each of these is a unit, 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 and so on. So find the length of the measure of that sketch, find the width of that sketch, and also, since each unit of the sketch represents 8 inches, I also want you to find the actual width and length of that painting. Please pause the video, allow students to work on this, and start it back when you are finished. So as you can see in this one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's where we get 6 by 6. When each of these units is 8, 6 times 8 is 48 on both of them. So the actual length is 48 inches by 48 inches. Your job now is to find the actual dimension. Our scale is 1 centimeter to 4 feet. If we have 7 centimeters, that would mean we have 7 times 4, which would give us 28 feet. Please try number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pause the video and allow students to try this on their own this time. As you can see, our first one was 7 times 4. This one is going to be 10.5 times 4, so hopefully you were able to come up with 42. 30 times 4, which will give us 120. This is 19 millimeters, which is a little bit tricky. We know that that is 1.9 centimeters times 4 feet, which will give us 7.6. 0.4 meters is 40 centimeters. 40 times 4 gives us 160. 4.25 meters is 425 centimeters times that 4, which will give us our answer of 1,700 feet. The main thing that we're talking about today is a scale drawing and scale models. A scale drawing is simply a proportional, two-dimensional drawing of an object. A scale model is a proportional, three-dimensional model of a project. So most of the times we have maps that are scale drawings. You may have a scale model of maybe the Eiffel Tower, which is a lot smaller than the actual Eiffel Tower, but it will be in proportion. One of the things that we have to know is that the scale, the measurements in scale drawings and models are proportional to the measurements of the actual model. The scale gives the ratio that compares the measurements of the drawing or the model with the actual. So you can see here the drawing distance is 1 inch. That actually means 10 miles. So our scale is 1 inch for 10 miles. Our job now is to find the actual distance, D, between Cadillac, which is right here, and Detroit, which is over by my picture. So I've got Cadillac to Detroit. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to need a ruler. In this picture, you would measure from Cadillac to Detroit, and if you used the actual book from this, you would get 3.5 centimeters. So the distance on the map in the book from Cadillac to Detroit is actually 3.5 centimeters. Because we know that 1 centimeter is 50 miles, we can now write a proportion. 1 centimeter is 50 miles, 3.5 centimeters is the actual distance. In order to solve this, I can do my cross multiplying, so I get D equals 50 times 3.5, which is 175. So the actual distance between Cadillac and Detroit is about 175 miles. The next thing that they're asking us to do is they're asking us to find the distance between Traverse City to Marquette. Now, realizing that we will have to go probably through water to get there, one of the things that we can do is measure this, and when I measured this in the book, we got 3 centimeters. So if 3 centimeters is how much miles? 1 centimeter is 50 miles. 3 times 1 is 3. So 50 times 3 will give us our answer of 150 miles. In our next example, the liquid outer core of Earth is about 23,000 kilometers thick. A scale model of the Earth, the layers of the Earth, as a scale of 1 inch to 500 kilometers. How thick is the outer core of the model? So we are talking about the liquid outer core right here, and we are talking about that. So what we will be doing is we'll be setting up a proportion. We know that our scale is 1 to 500. We don't know how many inches it actually is in the model, but we do know in actuality it is 2,300. I can then set up my cross multiplying. 500x equals 2,300. And when I get my answer, I will get 4 6/10. So in the model, that thickness of the liquid outer core is 4 6/10 inches thick.
In our next example, a scale model of Sergeant Floyd Monument is 10 inches tall. The actual monument is 100 feet tall. What is the scale model? So what we need to know here is that we are going to have to take the scale, which is 10 inches, to the actual, which is 100 feet. So 1 inch equals 10 feet. That's the scale of the model. What is the scale factor of the model? Now what we need to be able to do is with the scale, write the scale in the same units. So we want to change this 1 inch equals 10 feet to 1 inch equals 120 inches, because there are 12 inches in 1 foot. We have 10 feet, so our scale is 1 to 20. A common model train scale is called the HO scale, where the scale factor is 1 to 87. If the diameter of the wheel on a model train is 3/10 of an inch, what is the diameter of the actual wheel? See if you can come up with what the actual wheel will be as a diameter. Please pause the video and have students try this one. Hopefully you were able to say something like 1 over 87 equals 0.3 over x. When you multiply 0.3 by 87, you get your answer of 26 1/10 inch. So the actual wheel diameter was 26 1/10 inch. Your homework is worksheet 7.5, problems 1 through 6. You will need a ruler to measure some of the scales. You will have the rest of the class to work on this, and we will discuss this further on Friday. Have a great day. Thanks.